Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast,
where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, DrLennonSmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as cryptococcal antigen and hate-percot apricots. So I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, I hate to do this right now, but we have to get through some of these HR courses. They've been on our ass about it. We've already gone through like anger management and stuff like that, but a big thing that there's been a lot of discussion about is our social media policy among our employees. This is something we need to go over because I guess the policy that's put in place, a lot of people have been breaking it.
Okay, I'm trying to think of why they would, but yeah, okay.
The intention, I don't know. I assume it's for nefarious reasons or just to make me mad. But regardless, I guess our HR guy who is DJ Dylan, has been going over our employees' social media pages and a lot of rules being broken. So I'm going to talk about an obvious thing here. Confidentiality.
Oh boy.
Everything discussed in our office stays in our office. When I am telling you about the size and strength of my hemorrhoids that I'm dealing with, for you to film that, post it on TikTok, and then leave captions like, look at my stupid boss, he's talking about his hemorrhoids, he's the grossest man alive.
Well, and if I can say, if you're going to do that and it's going to go viral, then give Cameron some of the or at least hemorrhoid cream. Give him something.
How about just tag me? Tag me in the post so I get a few followers. You didn't even tag me.
Yeah. I do kind of understand them on that point. I've seen your account, which I assume is going to come up in this discussion here.
Well, yeah, of course. The next point is a lot of employees have been online intentionally tagging me saying like, oh, great, at producer Cameron posted something insane again because he's such a moron.
Which, you have theories. You have a lot of theories, and I don't think that makes you moron or whatever. I think it just makes you a theorist. Okay? Someone who had the brain.
I would say a lot of my theories also, I don't really get into flat earth or conspiratorial stuff. I just think, for example, trees they're not real. They're houses for bugs. They are built condominiums for bugs. Prove me wrong. Is a tree not filled with bugs?
This goes to the whole landlord issue. Landlords are the problem in society. And I think of another one of yours, that you think frogs should have a formal marriage ceremony if they're going to be together. And also you want to be the one planning that wedding.
I should be getting paid for it at least.
Yeah. And
yeah. Swans and lobsters too. Any animals that mate for life, I think, let's make this real and let me get a piece of it.
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah.
And also,
spiritually,
if you want.
Yeah.
If you want a third.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know for my part, I've seen the complaints that I don't post enough. Because I've been posting, basically I've told everyone that if I don't post it, it's not legal. And so just all the rules of the workplace, I'm supposed to post now. Because people will say, you're not allowed to do that. And I'm like, I haven't posted the rule yet. For example, all the food is usually mine. If it's in the fridge, in the bake room, if it's catered, that's my food. And I'm allowed to lick it. Until I make a rule where I don't do that.
And this is your social media?
This is my social media, yes. I post to my stories, to my posts, yeah. to the grid. Okay, yeah, and
the social media policy, it specifies you have to do this. Okay.
I've been pretty strict about enforcing my, like, it's a bit between the lines, so to speak, between the NDAs we all sign and the opposite of an NDA that we all sign. Like, yes, I have to post these rules to my socials just to make it easier to access.
And that sort of confirms that the rule actually exists.
Yeah. And that's just
makes sense.
Clear and easy to understand. Yeah.
Another thing that our HR person DJ Dillon pointed out is, we explicitly say in our social media policy you cannot post racist things online. And while no one is posting anything that's traditionally considered racist, tweeting curses towards me and all of my future kin, my children, my grandchildren, and my grandchildren's children, that is a form of racism. You're racist against my lineage.
I feel. I'll admit, I've been one of the people cursing you and your lineage.
Okay.
I do feel like they have it coming. Like, I get that that's prejudice on my part. But like,
and that's what I like. Don't judge my children's children based on my actions solely because of where they came from.
I just,
it just seems like we're salting the earth on kind of like my
progeny, yeah,
ancestry or my future.
Yeah.
What's the reverse of ancestry?
Yeah, it's progeny, I think is a word for it.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. And once again, that thing being your children, and descendants would be another word for that. I think they have it coming. But so that was our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the house.
Yes.
And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
Yeah, so do look forward to that. But before we move on, we'd like to address one little bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, a listener demographic was primarily composed of awful lizard people who were constantly shedding their scales. And it's been really annoying. This is a comment from TikTok. This is at user 82910473611922. They said, quote, "Your acting is absolutely awful." So thank you so much for this feedback. And I believe this one's for you, Cameron.
This is a criticism I've gotten a lot from my acting coach who watches our podcast feeds. Look, I'm reading the script you wrote, Dr. London. I mean, all of this, even this conversation we're having right now is scripted. And I guess I don't understand the motive of the character of producer Cameron.
Okay. And like that sounds like you because I wrote, the writing's good.
I can tell you that. Fine, I guess, but I guess I'm never going to truly capture this character if I don't understand his motivation and what's at the core of this character. I've been living as producer Cameron for so long that I'm starting to actually think like him.
Yeah, which
I'm method. Okay. I'm method. But I don't understand this.
So you've got so method that you've actually lost the understanding of the character, which this happens to every actor, by the way. Okay? Every actor, Spider-Man did it, and so on. They all get lost in the character so much that they are just lost generally, and then they get confused at the script.
It's so insane to me that Spider-Man hasn't won an Oscar.
Yeah. No, it's stupid.
Literally everyone's favorite movies are Spider-Man's.
Yeah. No, it's true. And like,
that's so fucking weird.
He's such a good actor. Like, his face literally seems to change between some of the movies. And like, he gets taller, shorter, skinnier.
And yet he's a Spider-Man every single time. That's the crazy thing. The whole time. Yeah. So consistent.
Yeah. Sometimes he's not, like, he's a cartoon.
Oh, gosh, yeah. He's like Jimmy Stewart. He's just like Jimmy Stewart.
He's just like Jimmy Stewart, yes. So thank you so much for that feedback. I hope that answered your question. Now for its medical topic, testicular torsion. Testicular torsion is a twisting of the spermatic cord leading to arterial occlusion and venous outflow obstruction. Ischemia in this area can lead to testicular infarction, which is like the same term, myocardial infarction is the term for a heart attack. This is testicular infarction. So basically, testicular torsion is when male genitals twist up in such a way that it cuts off blood flow to the testicles, which can kill those testicles.
And I am so sorry that this happened to you, Dr. London.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the next part is, testicular torsion is usually seen in adolescence. I am, of course, Gen Alpha.
Mm-hmm. We're super young, yeah.
Yeah. And so, this has been a journey for me. I'm
so young, I've never even heard of NYPD Blue.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so many letters. We haven't gotten there in the alphabet yet.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. And I can tell you from experience, testicular torsion presents with severe, acute testicular pain, swollen tender scrotum, and an elevated testicle, which, I thought was a good thing at first. I thought, oh, my ball's going up. That's nature returning. But no, that's because of the twisting. It's like twisting a rope, it makes it go up. So testicular torsion is a surgical emergency. It's treated with immediately surgical detorsion and orchiopexy to the scrotum, and that's performed bilaterally to prevent torsion in the contralateral testicle. If surgery is delayed beyond 6 hours, infarction may occur, and the testicle may not be salvageable.
But you keep yours, right, in a jar?
So orchiectomy, surgical removal of a testicle, it may be warranted if it's non-viable, the testicle they found. I'm convinced that it's viable. So yes, it's in a jar, but I do have it connected still.
Right, yeah. No, you have a sort of pocket in all of your pants that you've sewn to hold the jar.
It's like a colostomy bag, but just for one testicle, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it was a new innovative surgery, and they didn't seem to like doing it. But, for me, this is, my body, my choice kind of thing. I needed this.
You're waiting for future technology. It's like cryogenics. You're waiting for the technology to catch up to what you're salvaging.
And also for technology to start caring about it. That's been a huge, huge issue with it. Because the zero others in the medical community care about this. About, salvaging there are other ways.
I understand. Getting anyone to care about my testicles is a massive challenge.
Oh, yeah. No, I've tried to care about your testicles before.
No,
Nothing.
just no one cares. Yeah.
No.
I don't even really care. Whatever.
Ugh. Okay. Well, we can move on from there. Cameron, you said we have a guest today. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. London. We have an exciting guest.
Well, hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com. This is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Hey, my name is Brent. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, people don't say that very often. The good to be here part.
No, I don't particularly like places that I go, but this is a rare treat because usually I'm surrounded by just some of the most dumb people in the world, whereas now I'm around professionals like I see myself as.
Oh, wow. Wait, why are you surrounded by, dumb people all the time?
Well, it just kind of comes with my line of work. See, I'm an independent medical researcher for multiple different areas of medicine, and I'm constantly surrounded by people going, "This makes no sense. You're a dumbass. Go fuck yourself.
Gosh.
Give me my money back."
Yeah.
I'm calling the police. I've already called the police. The police are here. And it just shows a lack of
just understanding.
Understanding and intellectual curiosity, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that gets my goat.
They're haters. Ultimately, they're haters. I've run into the exact same thing. Even, no offense, Dr. London, but with you've been a hater to me before.
Mm-hmm.
And just people saying, like, why are you in my house? Why are you calling me so late? Why do you keep texting my wife? And I'm like, okay, but I'm actually doing research here. Like, what are you doing to actually help humanity? I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I can handle it once or twice, but when it's almost like 100% of the time, it gets really annoying. It's mostly annoying. I mean, obviously there's the legal aspect of it, which I'm totally fine with. I'm happy to plead my case, but
okay, so you are happy to plead the case because like that was, I think, part of the reason you're here is to kind of and so plead case sounds like a whole legal whatever. We just want to hear your side of kind of where your research has been going, because for what like Cameron said, his research gets a lot of the same responses, like a lot. In fact, I'm wondering if you both shared the same like legal advisors or any of that. It seems like you'd run into the same crowds.
I think we operate in different areas geographically, but I'm sure if it's from what I've heard. Yeah, it's dead on the money.
Was it Frank? Is it Frank?
I've dealt with a Frank type before.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Because is the name?
But that's why it's so refreshing to be here in front of you guys and your audience and your community. Is because at least you're giving me the chance to hear me out, and not just immediately, stopping the recording.
No, I want to hear about
kicking me off.
Yeah, I want to hear about your research. Like, what discoveries have you found?
Sorry. Before we go on, so a Frank type. You both agreed on this archetype of a type of person. A Frank type.
Yeah.
What does that mean to each of you? Because like
bearing similarities to Frank. I guess I don't understand why there would be confusion about that. If I said a Kermit type person, you'd be like, oh, right, a green frog-like person. Like, everyone's on the same page.
But for Kermit the Frog, yeah. But like, so it's Frank
Who?
Okay. Kermit the... Okay, no. So... If I could just, and I'm sorry to maybe we should skip past this point, but I really am just wondering, like, who do you think of when you think of Frank? Because nothing comes to my mind, I guess, is the issue.
And yet you brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I hear Frank, I go, I've seen Frank before. I've seen him 1,000 times. A guy that's like a wayward. A person with an ailment, and then when I offer my solutions, all of a sudden they're a genius. They're the doctor. They're the medical independent researcher, not me. And they have a lot to say about it, and they are not very nice about it.
And that's exactly the same guy that I consult with as well. All of that. That's the same.
And that's your legal counsel. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, in the forums and in the communities and on the Discord, we kind of used Frank as like a catch-all, like a Karen.
Right. Okay. So this is just a subculture that I'm not. Okay. I apologize then. I didn't realize this is a specific thing that our listeners probably know all about. And I'm the one who's kind of left out.
Oh, but I'm glad we got hung up on semantics for the last 30 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
If you'd like a history lesson, this all started back in 1981 with a classic case of a guy named Frank. I can't remember what his last name. Do you remember McCarthy?
Well, it's Zappa, but it's not the one you're thinking of.
That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Mike.
Tyson. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Frank Zappa, odd character, not the guy you're thinking of, but he kind of was the patient zero of this type of absolute loon.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where that comes from as a little background into our...
You've been working against those odds for a long time. I want to hear, what breakthroughs have you come across? Like, what have you been researching lately?
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of across the board. Is there anything specific you'd like to hear about?
Yeah, Cameron.
I mean, medically speaking, I've been wondering lately why so many people are so fucked up like that.
I think it's due to and I don't want to get, like that kind of here. I don't want to
Thank you.
split the,
Thank
but
you.
it does come from a budding sort of attitude in the United States and Canada, parts of Mexico, a little bit of Guatemala, portions of Europe. We're making it over there, but a sort of overwhelming trust in what they call the mainstream, normal, certified, and decorated.
Yeah, the mainstream, normal, certified, decorated
doctors and medical professionals, and it's just, I remember when I was naive.
Okay.
But
wow, and that's the research you've done.
That's the challenges my research is facing. Like, for example, okay, I've been working on my theory as to COVID trutherism and with regards to vaccines.
Okay.
And so my foolproof method that I have done self-administered, is it's a concept called only taking the odd numbers of boosters.
Okay.
So you take the first vaccine, but you skip the second. Then you get the third, okay? Skip the fourth, and so on and so forth. Yeah, also getting a flu shot every 3 years in order to offset the
1 year. Yes. Okay.
the rigidity of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and this is similar. My research has sort of shown that the most effective way to deal with the flu is to get a flu shot every once in a while when you're in, every 7 years when you're in a CVS and you're like, oh, I should probably do that. And then in the years that you don't do that, you get the flu. And so you get the best of both worlds, sort of.
Mm-hmm. And I think a big part of that kind of leads into the psychology of it all. And that is, if you're constantly vaccinated against things like the measles and the mumps and the flu and COVID, you're missing out on the experience that other people experience when they get these diseases. That leaves you ignorant.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, gosh. And I hate ignorance.
I've been learning about this.
It's the worst.
Because, okay, for instance, mumps used to be the leading cause of sterility in men. Because, it'll go and, basically kill your testicles, not unlike testicular torsion. And we used to have that in society. Now I have no excuse when I can't perform. I can't get I can't make the baby thing happen. And and it I don't have mumps as a reason for that anymore. I used to always be able to blame that.
It used to be a convenient excuse, because nowadays, the leading cause of sterility in men is, it's Frank. It's the Franks of the world and the way they're punching and they're kicking, and it's causing a lot of issues that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah, and I've been doing some preliminary research on what I'm calling the zappification of the Western world. As more and more people like the zap.
Sorry, just a question. So he's your legal counsel, but both your legal counsel, Frank is, but he sounds like a bully. Does he?
He's so mean. Unbelievable.
Well, he's a bully to guys like me and Cam, but to everyone else seems to love him.
Okay. Oh, everyone loves him, so you can never call him out. But yeah, to actual truth tellers like Brent and I, then.
So yeah, I guess. So he's left you
penniless. Yeah.
I was gonna say sterile, but okay, penniless as well.
Oh yes, yeah. Same.
Well, I used to make my money through donating my sperm, but now that I'm sterile,
yeah,
I'm out of work. I'm out of a job, and guess what? Unemployment does not cover becoming sterile, so you can't sell your seed after lying about going to Harvard.
Okay, wow, and that's for our listeners. Write that down, because this is one of those things that people look at the big headlines or they'll look at the tiny thing, but they won't necessarily look at the chain of effects that lead to, I can't get paid this week because Frank, man.
Because Frank is just screwing up my shit.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back to the intermittent intermittent vaccine situation that you were talking about, where you do every other year, does that apply just to COVID stuff, or does that apply also to, for example, I've been manufacturing my own vaccine for a while. It is just chicken soup because that is what you're supposed to eat when you're sick.
And that's not just for the immune system.
Like London keep saying like injecting chicken soup into your bloodstream is not. It's not doing anything positive.
It does make you feel pretty good.
It's so warm. It's so nice and just warm.
Well, I keep telling you, your blood was already warm. Like, so just compare.
Yeah, but if it feels room temperature.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's
like I can barely feel my blood right now.
Yeah, no.
That's not good. You should be able to feel your blood constantly. It should be thick enough for you can feel it sludging through your body.
Well, I'm on my off week of my chicken noodle soup injections.
Okay. So
you do it too. Okay, good.
Yeah. No, I've read your paper. I'm a big fan. Did you not know that?
No. Okay, we're definitely on the same forums. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Does Frank play into this at all? The chicken
He's the
soup?
admin, yeah.
Oh. Of the forums.
Yeah. Oh, you were asking about the chicken soup. Yeah, no, of the forums. It's a BB2 forum.
Okay.
So it's I'm coming up with a different regimen for each of the injections and vaccines out there. For example, I'm on the forefront of what we call the tetanus shot maxing, and that's where we get a tetanus shot every couple hours for the span of 4 months.
To see if
every 4 years.
To see if you can overpower it. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. And has that worked?
Yeah, of the needles that I'm able to get my hands on, I have not once this year contracted tetanus.
Okay. Well, I guess that's progress in a sense. I mean, I'd say.
It's the data show that right there. It is the data.
This Dr. London. Let me just throw this out there. Yeah. Dr. London is a contrarian, and he does not trust the scientific process. We've gone over this a lot, actually. Like,
so
trial and error is part of it, and he doesn't seem to understand that.
Yeah, well, so tetanus, as I'm sure you both know, and our listeners will know, it's anaerobic bacteria. So when it's not just like pointy stuff. It's when you step on a rusty nail, and then it punctures fast enough and like makes this indentation where there's a pocket of no oxygen. That little spot where it deposits the bacteria of the tetanus. That's how you get tetanus. And so just touching needles can get you other stuff, but not necessarily tetanus.
That's but what I said very clearly, the needles that I have access to, which are the ones that I find.
Yeah, they're gonna be. Why are you assuming that every needle is rustless? This is something I will never understand.
Well, it's not just the rustless. It's how far into your body you're sticking it so that there's no oxygen at the point that like the deepest point. Do you see what I mean? I'm sorry.
I guess, but
really
now you're getting into the depth of this found needle. I don't know, Dr. Again, contrarianism. You're instantly looking for the negative. This is what Brent has dealt with his entire life as a researcher.
A big part of trial and error. What is not involved in trial and error? Success. We're still getting there. It's trial and mostly error.
Okay. No, because I know, like, I'm starting to put two and together on like who this Frank guy is, and
you're so fixated on this guy. I mean, I am too, because he's basically my life, and he can kind of controls everything I do. But God, you are obsessed with Frank.
Because you'll come back from something, and you'll be covered in dirt and weed and rags, and then you'll say like, "Oh, I was just at court today," and is this part of the trial and error thing?
Yes, trial. How more clear can we be?
This is you just not trusting the scientific process again and again. Yes, when I come home and I'm covered in sort of a goopy oil and dirt and weeds and stuff like that. Yes, I was just at court. Is that what you're asking? I guess I don't understand what the question actually is.
Yes, so that's my first question. Are you at court?
Yeah.
And by court, do you mean you were at a trial? And I'm also wondering, is Frank involved in that?
Is my legal counsel involved at the trial? Yes, absolutely. These ridiculous questions. I don't understand.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just like, I guess this is a whole methodology that I'm just unfamiliar with. So you go to these trials. And what? It sounds like you get beat up at these trials. Is that the error?
Well, Frank's
is
a
that,
bully.
like,
We already established that. Like, of course he's going to beat me up a bit.
Is that what the trial is? Is that what you do at court? Is go there, like, you have to show up, oh, this is my time, this is my appointment, and then you get beat up, and then you leave? Or is there more to it? I'm just trying to understand.
I guess
I'm not varies.
I'm not
varies.
I'm not a lawyer, so I guess I don't really understand what I'm supposed to tell you. I go to law school and learn this stuff on your own.
Sometimes trial is in a courtroom with a judge and legal whatever legal
counsel.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. And sometimes court can be just, a guy lures me into a wooded area and kicks the shit out of me. It doesn't have to be one thing, and that's what I'm trying to say for all of this. I do a little bit of this type of research on the legal side, but I'm mostly focused on medicine right now and medical things. But look, a trial does not have to be okay.
Are you on the forefront of any new discoveries? Like, is there something you're cooking up right now?
Yes, I'm cooking up a great way to combat the effects of dementia.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's huge.
Like,
and what I do is I counteract the effects of dementia by using a thing called gaslighting.
Okay.
Oh,
that's where you lie to the patient.
Okay.
As they don't recognize me and that I'm not their regular doctor and that I'm not who they think I am, but that's a form of gaslighting. So I do it back to them, and I'm still jotting down the results. Inconclusive so far, but I think we're on to something.
What are you doing? What are you doing back at them? You're saying, "Who are you?" Also to them.
Yeah, they go, "Oh, are you my nephew?" And I go, "No, I'm your fucking niece." You ever think of that? Are you fucking crazy? You sound crazy right now. And they go, "I don't know where I am." It's like, I don't know where you are either. I don't know where the fuck you are. And they say, "Oh." They snap back into it like, "Oh, sorry, my brain's going." And I go, "No, it's not. You're right about everything." And
yeah, just really making sure that they don't have 2 feet on solid ground.
Right, to keep them on their toes. But also, what it does, I don't know exactly what it does to their brains, but it does make them go away.
The brains go away? Oh, it makes them go away.
It makes me go away from them because I am often then escorted out of the hospital and senior living facility.
You're not working there or anything. You just sort of...
No, I'm there out of the kindness of my heart, dedicating my time.
I guess
to
that point there, clinical studies are expensive, and that's why they're often government funded, and it sounds like you're doing this without so much of the funding that normally would help in such a situation. Okay.
Yes, I'm a big fan of cutting out the bloat of the medical system status quo as we have it right now.
Yeah. Cut the bloat. That's what I always say.
Especially if you're dealing with dementia patients, these are patients that you can always take money from. Oh, hello, I'm Mr. Moneyman. I need all the money you have, please. Like, you can just sort of say whatever, and that can be your income and salary.
Yeah, because I would hate to get it involved in the medical billing process that's mostly administrative fees. I just go 1-to-1. Here's my Venmo. In fact, give me your phone. And
they're like, "What's a phone?" And it's like, "Oh, you're stupid."
Like, it's something I invented, in fact. So, and then they think I'm the phone inventor.
Yeah, and so, okay, I've heard of this kind of thing being misconstrued as elder abuse. And how do you navigate those accusations?
Oh, I'm elder abusing. Oh, I'm doing it. I point the finger back at them. They were abusing me by not paying me immediately.
Oh, wow, that's so true.
I'm the victim here. I'm the victim.
And at that point, you're starting to call Frank up. Does Frank help you at some point?
You know
he
who
doesn't-
needs help with their dementia is Dr. London, apparently, because he is so confused about the Frank situation that he must have a debilitating disease that's causing this.
I thought that Frank is your legal counsel. Like, he's who you would call for this.
Oh,
no. You don't call Frank, he shows up.
No, he finds you.
Yeah.
Frank is an archetype of the enemy.
Okay. I guess I don't... okay, like, obviously you've had interactions with, and he's in the forums, so, it's...
And he's coming over for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, is that why?
And you are not invited, by the way. He specifically said that.
Okay. But you still sent me with a shopping list. I have to get the balloons.
You're cooking, yeah, but you need to leave afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, because I don't know... Like, the list is pretty extensive. You want turkey and steak and lobster.
Yeah, okay. And these are beyond your capabilities?
I'm not much of a chef, for one thing. And I know you said, well, then order it. Order out, whatever. But, like...
I have a question.
Okay.
Is turkey, steak, and lobster 3 different things, or is it just turkey, steak, and lobster?
Let me check the list again. Hold on.
Is there a comma between turkey and steak, or are you talking about turkey steak?
It's a turkey steak lobster, is what it's a turkey steak cut in the shape of a lobster.
Well, there are a lot of crossed out parts of each word.
Oh my god.
Okay. And if you just maybe text it to me instead, it'd be a little easier. This is a really dingy piece of paper you gave me with it. But like, okay. So we'll plan a dinner. And yeah, it sounds like this is a very touchy subject. So I don't know. Do you want to, are we done here?
I want to move on from your Frank obsession. I want to get back to the actual medicine that we've been talking about.
Okay. How about this? In the line of psychology, heard of it? It's called the study of someone's brain and why they're sad. Have you heard of guttural therapy?
I'm not sure that I have.
Okay, guttural therapy, it was practiced a lot in the late 60s during the hippie movement. It's where patients were encouraged to scream at the top of their lungs to get out all of their emotions.
Okay, yeah,
I've developed a cutting-edge new angle on this. It's called reverse guttural therapy, where somebody comes into my set-up office because they won't rent to me. They lay down on the couch. I say, okay, what's going on? And they say, oh, my mother is blank. My family. Oh, my job is so this. Oh, and then what I do is I scream at them.
Okay. And what have your findings been from this therapy?
People don't need my therapy anymore. They typically get it done in one session.
That's incredible. And this is exactly why you're not going to find mainstream psychiatrists doing this, because they're going to lose business if they're too effective, pharma. Right?
They're in the business of repeat customers.
Exactly. They have to keep you a little fucked up. They're not going to scream at you for an hour. Now, I will say my BetterHelp guy, he does scream at me a lot. But that's different. That's personal.
Well, can I ask? And genuinely, I'm asking. Can I ask?
Yes,
for each of you, what do they yell at you, or what do you scream at your patients about? Because an hour is a long time for me to yell at patients. I would say I kind of lack the patience for that.
Yeah. And you, London, you have a reason
this
usually, like, how dare you be sick in my hospital, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing their germs in, and we have people who, need help.
Oh, gosh. So, Brent.
For me, it's a case-by-case basis. Like, if you were to, for an example, what would be a reason somebody would want to seek out therapy?
Well, I am remembering already the dementia patients you had, and so it does sound like maybe just a genuine frustration with them not remembering stuff. Like you might
So-
yell at them for that.
So somebody comes in, they're saying I'm having trouble because my parents are going through the point of the end of their life, and it's tough on me because they've always been so a big part of my life. And I go, And then I'm not going to yell right now out of respect for the listeners, but I would say, oh, boo hoo, go fuck yourself.
Oh, okay. So
that's what I
it's not
think.
specific to what they said. It's just go fuck yourself, and then just
That's just how you kick it off,
endless.
yeah.
Well,
Ah.
a go fuck yourself in this line of reverse guttural therapy is kind of a catch-all. Like a this is manageable for normal therapists or whatever. I would assume. I've never been to one. I have a perfect brain, but when if someone is like, oh, I feel guilty about this, I'm like, well, you should feel guilty. Yeah, I would get in their face.
Yeah.
You should feel guilty, and then I would go, and it's a lot of ahs. So because a lot of ahs is comforting. It's the first letter of the alphabet. It's
Okay.
It kind of takes you back
It's
to
like maternal
kid.
kind of thing. It's the first thing you
Mhm.
see.
It's also just good
Yeah.
filler. Ahs are the uhs of the screaming world.
Very well put.
Yeah.
Very well put. Can I use that in my documentation?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Somebody says, "Oh, I feel mentally inadequate." I'll often go, "Duh."
Yeah, no, that.
Yeah, that's really insightful.
Yeah.
A lot of boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Look at me, I'm the patient. And then they, and it works every time.
Do they
get up and leave.
Do they stay for the whole session?
Well, I'm dedicated to this, so if they do walk out, I will finish the 60-minute session.
Yeah. By following them around or by just screaming in the room?
If I feel like they are cheating themselves, I will follow them out of the building.
Yeah.
But only in a certain mile radius. I got to get back. I've got a list of clients that I have not tricked, but I've gathered, we'll say.
Yeah, like kidnapped or...
I got a schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I mean, so I guess I don't know if have you thought about going, well, you have a perfect brain. I was going to say would you go to Cameron's therapy? Would Cameron go to yours? But if you have perfect brains, then I guess you don't need it yourself.
I would go to get studied as what we're all aiming for in the psychology field. What we're kind of all aiming at for our patients to act and behave and think like.
And yeah. So, okay, yeah. So maybe we can go ahead and schedule an appointment for you to both yell at each other. Does that for therapy?
Why do we need therapy? We both have perfect brains. For you? Therapy for you, London? Or?
It's more for you to learn from from your perfect brains and how it does it.
I think what would be better is, not a one-on-one session, but rather a kind of sort of booked tour around the United States, Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, and to kind of display at big symposiums and conventions and maybe even a big show at a big theater, but where we demonstrate what happens when two perfect specimens perform this form of psychology on each other. I think we can clean up. And
I mean, we could get the audience involved as well. Bring people on stage, yell at them. Yeah. Watch their lives be transformed. They leave the building. We follow them afterwards. I assume the crowd is following us as well. So on and
kind of
so
following
forth.
us from date to date. Yeah.
Two perfect brains. Did I just name the well,
no, I'd never
guess,
call it that in a million years.
Okay. Okay.
I'd call it miracles, to be determined.
Yep, I was about to say that exact same thing.
Of course, we're on the same wavelength.
Oh, God. London will never understand this. And it's honestly because of your resistance to meeting Frank.
But
But he does not want to meet you.
Yeah, that's... Okay, well, so, Brent, do you have anyone you want to shout out? Do you have anything you're excited about? Like, I know your own research, obviously, and this show that you're going to put on with colons and to be determined, but is there anyone you're a fan of?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I have a friend. He's not I wouldn't call him a friend. We're becoming friendly, but he is a patient of mine. He is actually a stand-up comedian, and his name is Brent Mercer. I met him because he came into the hospital for an X-ray and an MRI, and happened to get me. I intercepted him at the last minute, and I performed my groundbreaking new method of X-ray and MRIing, where I kind of act like a sketch artist, where I go describe your insides, and then he was so impressed with that. He goes, "I must take you to lunch," and he took me to a very awful lunch at a very underkept Jimmy John's. But we hit it off. He recorded a comedy special, and it is coming out on December 2nd.
That's today.
What? Oh my! Oh, what? You can go watch it right now.
Yeah. Oh. Wow, that's how remarkably convenient, as if planned.
Holy
almost.
Crap! Holy mackerel!
So go check that out right now, and turn this off, and go check out. Where is it going to be found?
You can just
where is it found right now?
YouTube.com, and then type in the search bar Brent Mercer.
All right. So everyone go check that out. I actually have seen this guy's stuff before. Liked it.
Finally, something we can agree on.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on, Brent. Hopefully our listeners will apply your theories of therapy. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.